Middleton, Washington, and Gafford for the Mavericks. And Minnesota will...
For the Timberwolves, it is Prince theme, and they've played nothing but Prince for the entire hour before this game tipped off.
Well, Dante DiVincenzo is ready to go crazy. Let's go nuts, right?
There we go.
Is that how the song goes?
Did I just tee you up?
That was scripted.
That was scripted.
Jones out top. Najee Marshall has been a great find for the Mavericks this year. Missed that time. DiVincenzo with the board. The push to Edwards. Edwards has had not a lot of offensive success against Dallas this year as Randall misses. And Middleton brings it across. Here's Marshall. Back out to Middleton. Shot clock at 10, working against Randall. The stare down mid, he rims out, but he's fouled by Randall. Milwaukee.
Yeah, the biggest issue for him has really been health the last few years in Milwaukee. Can bring to any team. The question is, does he stay in Dallas or does he go and try and be a contributor on a high-level championship team? That's really the biggest decision for Chris Middleton.
Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. Edwards out top against Marshall. DiVincenzo into Randall on the block. McDaniel drives it, having a career year. This one caroms off to Washington.
Well, the two things I like early, Anthony Edwards passing it to Julius Randle for an open shot, and then Randle passing it out of the post. They're both trying to be connectors early, as you see Tyus knock down the little mid-range shot.
Tyus Jones, who played his AAU basketball here in Minneapolis for Howard Pulley. And speaking of pulls, Julius Randle connects from deep. He's been putting in a lot of work with his trainer Tyler Relf to get that thing grooved just right. Washington on the hand back to Jones. Washington pulls the three and knocks it home.
And now make no mistake, Dallas, they've been banged up all season long. But another thing that's true about Dallas is that they are leading the NBA in clutch games. That means every game that they are playing is coming down to the last 5 minutes, regardless of who's on the court. And you see this. McDaniel's offense is elevated. Their team goes to a different level because his defense is very consistent.
Randall on the drive, bullies his way inside. Gobert couldn't make the catch. It'll come back the other way to Dallas. Just underway here, Mark Jones, Richard Jefferson, Katie George courtside for this, the first game out of the break for both these teams. Middleton off the away action. Lobs it up for Gafford, couldn't connect. Middleton missed it, and Gafford cleaned it up. Boy, when healthy, he's been pretty good at that 5 spot for Dallas this year.
Yeah, but he's dealt with sprained ankle literally from the start of training camp. He's been hobbled, so it hasn't probably been 100%. No lively, so it just puts a little bit more pressure on him.
Edwards with the step back three. Comes out to Marshall in full flight. Middleton into the corner. That's Jones. Pristine passing. Middleton did not get away with the walk. I was going to say he got away with the walk, but McDaniel's handling this time. Interesting to see how much at times Minnesota has Anthony Edwards off ball as that shot comes off. And the outlet picked off by McDaniels with that 7-foot 2-inch reach.
I don't think they knew how high you had to throw it to get it over his reach.
At the other end, he lays it in. McDaniels 6'9", folks, but a 7'2" wingspan. Richard, he is all knees and elbows. 4 points in the ball game for him. Had the rebound taken away by Gafford. Marshall, nice pocket pass inside. Edwards staying in front of Middleton. There's that great defensive ability by Edwards, but a better shot that time by Middleton.
Anthony Edwards gave him a kind of a look, but it's like, don't forget, this man was putting in buckets in the NBA Finals, closing games. The only thing that slowed him down really has been health.
Anthony Edwards now 0 for 2 from deep. Gobert fouled underneath.
Where it doesn't matter if it's post, if it's a pick and roll. Late game, it was him in close. It was him and Drew Holiday.
Gobert missed everything on the second attempt. It was interesting to
learn from him. Learn how he thinks the game. Learn how he talks the game. When he was with Dame and that whole team, Dame was one of the players that these two would talk often. So I think there's a tremendous amount of value to Dallas.
Washington on the bounce over Randall and cleared by Gobert. Minnesota on the run. Edwards with the tween cross. Had it knocked away by Marshall. No whistle, and Dallas returns the favor and turns it over. More free throw per game this year, so he's getting to line more. Randall sprays it to DiVincenzo for three.
And that's what we talked about, being a connector. Sometimes when a coach calls a play or a post up for you, it's not necessarily for you to shoot, but for you to make the right play.
Here's Marshall from deep. And McDaniels gets it. Minnesota up by 3. McDaniels. Randall on the catch and go. Tough catch for Gobert inside. A lot to ask.
Minnesota has struggled to find so far this season, guys.
Great point, Katie. They've beaten Oklahoma City. They've beaten San Antonio. And then lost to the likes most recently of New Orleans. Another stare down 3 by Middleton. This one comes off to McDaniels.
Well, and that's the thing when we talk about consistency. It's not the offensive numbers. It's how consistent their defense has, and that's always been their calling card. Coach Fitz said last year after the All-Star break, everyone calmed down and settled into their role as DiVincenzo knocks down another 3. He believes that, hey, now that era of a trade is gone, players can sit down and be a lot more comfortable, and he hopes that inspires their defense as Tyus Jones attacks Anthony Edwards.
Jones with the basket as we approach the midway point. Good catch by McDaniels underneath, but stepped out of bounds. It'll be Dallas basketball. That's the point.
Still understanding how to control an NBA game, because that's what it is. It's not talent with young point guards that you see and just speed in for that layup. It's can you manage and control a team. It's very different at this level, playing with this caliber of players, but I think he's growing at a good rate.
Edwards into the front court. Edwards has not scored yet on just 2 field goal attempts. Nas Reed checked into the ball game. DiVincenzo rolls and punches it home. Gobert averaging a double-double on the season with 11 points and 11 rebounds and leading the league in field goal percentage. Klay Thompson checked into the ball game, sprays it out to Williams. Little float game comes out to Edwards. Edwards perusing the court. Got to his strong hand off glass.
And that's where Gobert eats. He's had a couple of mishandles on some drop-off passes, but ultimately those rim runs, collapsing the defense, that's where he's at his best.
McDaniels sprays it out to Nas Reed. His first goal is pure. Butler. Timeout down. Rubbers handing it off. Thompson. Williams into the corner. Marshall drives it on Edwards. Pristine passing resulting in a Bagley bucket.
Well, and look, they got an assist right there to start this game. That's their 3rd assist, and they have 3 turnovers for Dallas. On the other side, Minnesota, they've got 9 field goals and 8 assists. This is what they need to do, continue to connect offensively. As you see, Anthony Edwards gets on the board with his first 3.
Shooting 40% from deep on the season on very good volume, about 8 attempts per game. Minnesota off to a good start, 6 of 10 from downtown. Bagley on the keep. Tipped it up. Edwards tipped it out to Dosunmu, who checked in during the break. Dosunmu with a nice in-and-out move. Gobert with another cleanup.
Dosunmu, what a pickup for him. You add another 2-way player. His offensive game has increased. Defensively, I think he fits into what the Minnesota Timberwolves have on the perimeter already.
He's shooting 46% from deep on the season.
The positive he brings to the table.
Still a very imposing force defensively as well. Klay Thompson on the catch and shoot. Bones Highland into the ball game for Chris Finch into the front court. Dosunmu on the catch and go. Gobert with the sidestep. No whistle.
Now, Rudy, you can't do that after I just complimented.
He was feeling nice.
He was feeling nice. He tried to hit him with a euro.
Martin on the drive, turns the corner on Gobert for the layup. And Martin on the score sheet. Minnesota still leading by 10. Bones Highland, primary ball handler, now in at point. Nas Reed with the spin, and he'll go to the free throw line for a couple of shots.
Respect the game and how much he grew. Not the most athletic, not the quickest, skilled, but he worked so hard, and it's just, I hope to see him be in a competitive situation before his career's over.
Marshall left that one short, out to Johnson. Here's P.J. Washington from the wing. Bagley with a big-time board. And another opportunity for the Mavericks. Washington drives it this time. Got to the rim, but left it short. Missed everything. Retrieves it and got blocked up top. Behringer checked into the ball game at center. Battling underneath, and it comes back to Reed. Off the turnover. It'll be Dallas basketball.
That's the third turnover that they've had on interior passing. 2 to Rudy Gobert, then Naz Reid. The idea is there, but you also have to understand the execution has to be there. Not great passes on the interior.
Nice show and go by Marshall. Behringer. Marshall trying it from outside. Bones Highland with the board. Quickly up to McDaniels. There's the rookie underneath. Making an impact. The lead is up to 17. Largest of the ball game for the Timberwolves. Tyus Jones off glass. Bagley with the flush.
And Marvin Bagley, I've been watching him play. Grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. Has been a stud for so long. Obviously, that top pick, there was DeAndre Ayton, there was Luka. But he has so much talent. I'm just waiting for that talent to show up in a more consistent, dominant way. But he has so many tools.
Still only 26 years old. Tipped it to his teammate, Marshall. Najee Marshall with that low gather steps through and draws the foul.
Pay
in a major way.
That man his money. Like the franchise tag. We're going to give you a 1-year contract, and you got to go out there and prove it. And I think now a lot of teams, including Dallas, would look at him for a longer-term contract, 3-4 years. That prove-it year is an okay year to go out there and get it done.
Daniels back to Bones Highland, launching the 3 and connects. Bones Highland spent a lot of time down in Miami at Stan Remy's gym, getting in a lot of work on the Tuesday after All-Star break. And Jones counters with a 3 at the other end. But Bones came in ready to attack the second half of the season and to pull another 3. That one missing everything.
Time, score, understand flow, understand quality of shot. We're getting great shots every time down. We don't need heat checks from anyone.
Good deflection by Highland, that time defensively. Goes into the corner to Tyus Jones, 10 on the shot clock. Around the Bagley screen, wonderful pocket pass. And Bagley couldn't finish it. Here's Naz Reid with the cross. Rebounded by Washington. Dallas looking to push. Marshall got the float game. Buy one, get one free. Najee Marshall.
7 different players that have hit these 9 threes. That means the ball is moving. At one point in time, 14 field goals and 12 assists. That means everyone is sharing the ball. So in those moments, you don't typically look at your stars and say, hey, why are they not having an impact? The impact is being shown in other areas.
Edwards off the floppy action, lobs it up. Never made it to its target. 2-on-1 the other way. Johnson connecting on the high handoff. A great pass delivery from Najee Marshall.
And I like the angle that Johnson took. They were a little bit more narrow. He got wide to make the defender have to pick one or the other.
Edwards been working on his mid-post game. Got inside, couldn't convert. Here's Johnson. Dallas in the middle of a 12-3 sprint right now. Johnson on the cross, blocked by Behringer again. They get a whistle.
And they've gone at him, and not in the right way. You wouldn't have gone at Rudy Gobert that way. And sometimes you have to classify shot blockers in the same class.
Edwards off the pin. Got the foul on Jones, and one. Anthony Edwards with a 3-point play opportunity.
When the game gets tight late in the season, that's when they go to the post. It's harder to double team. You have the physical advantage over most defenders, and if they put a bigger guy on you, that's when you go out on the floor and use your quickness. But Anthony Edwards getting to the post, that is the next iteration of his offensive dominance.
We've seen his game evolve. Johnson sprays it out. A little too high for Marshall. You know, back to Anthony Edwards. And they worked on getting to what he likes to call Edwards' kill spots in the mid-range, using 2 defenders to guard Edwards in drills and using limited dribbles. And it's shown up in his productivity in the mid-range this game and at the rim. Edwards says, why not me?
But again, almost a turnover in that little drop-off interior pass.
Marshall couldn't finish. They got a 3-on-2. And pass tipped out of bounds by Martin.
Terminator.
Yeah, man. He could use a pair of your Gucci slides, though. That's all. It's the only thing missing from the fit. I'm surprised. Look, it's a little cold for your Gucci slides.
Look, the Europeans know about the Gucci slides. We've got to warm them up a little bit.
Jones off the Bagley screen into the corner for Wilson. And nice finish by Bagley inside. Dallas hanging around down by 11. They trail by as much as 17. The Sumo around the Gobert screen, flipped it. Randall with a nice cut. Sprays it to Edwards, sidestep 3 on the way. Rebounded by Gobert, and he draws the hit underneath.
His team all by himself.
You might already know people being held accountable. And that resonated inside the locker room. It was after one of those disappointing losses that we alluded to earlier.
Well, and I think this is why this is a very good game for Minnesota, because this is one of the teams that they've had some issues with. Teams that are under 500, not a lot to play for at this point in time of the season. What are you going to do in those moments?
Klay Thompson fouls Gobert, VP in the All-Star game. I watched him work out in Miami, and he really loves the gym, and it shows. The Sumo back to Edwards. Little show and go from 15, light work.
And that's the kill spot.
Yeah.
They want to take away your 3. You're shooting at a high volume and a high percentage. So teams, their whole goal is to take you off. Can you get to that next level of the defense and be aggressive?
Williams fouled on his foray to
the improvement in Anthony Edwards' game already.
Gafford out top over to Thompson. Boy, look at DiVincenzo fight over the top of that screen. Baseline cut by Martin. Got hung up, and good resistance by Gobert in the analytics, right?
Yeah, he had a wide open layup there. If he would have just gone straight in, Rudy didn't even jump.
Edwards launching. No whistle, and Gobert cleaned it up. Anthony Edwards took his soul to the hole that time. Thompson for 3. Randall with the board. Randall on the cross on Martin. He draws the foul. It's amazing how you can tend.
But you're more mad that you didn't finish that play.
Off the screen inside, finds Gobert. He makes the catch. He missed the layup. 16-point lead. Minnesota up. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Middleton off the window and draws the hit. Throw shooter. That foul was against Jaden McDaniels, his second personal foul. Hey, many aspects of the league are built by blowing.
You mentioned Middleton being an 85% free throw shooter. He was one of those 50, 40, 90 guys. We're just super efficient at every area of the floor. That's why I truly believe, one, he would be a great mentor for Cooper Flagg, but he would also be a valuable asset to other teams.
Edwards elevates for the rebound, and Gafford, man, he put Randall in the friend zone. Washington at the other end for the lay. Good transition that time by the Mavericks to get the bucket. Randall inside in traffic. That's going to be a loose ball foul. The shot prep leads to a better, more efficient release.
Yeah, shot block. So being shot ready is important. And sometimes when you're one of the guys that touches the ball all the time,
right,
you're not always shot ready because you get tripped with the ball. DiVincenzo, certain guys like that, they always have to be shot ready. So teaching stars to do that is even more important.
Yeah, Katie has more. Katie?
Well, guys, Julius Randle said, Julius Randle said he's become more of a connector. He's adjusted his mindset. He said with Ant playing more point guard this season, Randle said he's wired to score. He hunts, he's a killer. That's how he's wired. So Randle says he tries to make the game easier for